Hello, everyone, and welcome. Man, I'm gonna pause. That fucking intro is dope as fuck. Wonder, I'm on. You put your whole foot and ass in that damn thing. That shit's good, man.
I appreciate
Um,
that.
It really is
but
good.
we are back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to an episode. As always, joining me is my boys Rico and Wonder.
Without
Um, and we literally just powered through the first season of Devil May Cry anime, and we have some thoughts.
Oh.
On top of us, I think collectively thinking it was a pretty amazing show. We have our, individual thoughts on what we thought and whatever. Going against the norm, we're gonna start with Wonder tonight.
all right. I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm always talking about fans and maybe who should maybe pipe down or who should speak up when we talk about these properties and stuff like that.
As well as I'm gonna preface this just so because Wonder he won't say it directly, but Wonder, just so I'm gonna say it in a PC version for everyone. Wonder is a firm believer of if you are given the reins to a property, series, media, book, whatever the fuck, you should be a passionate fan of that franchise. It doesn't matter that you directed 17 fucking Transformers movies. It doesn't matter if you fucking wrote
Oscars.
Whatever. If you do not have some personal connection with the series, Wonder does not appreciate your opinion. It'd be, and that's fine. We all agree here collectively that some form of gatekeeping is normal and acceptable because that's how you protect things of value. So I want you guys to know that when Wonder speaks about how people are fucking up, it's coming from a basis of they didn't appreciate the series when they started. Does that Wonder did I?
Nah, he hit that perfectly.
Okay, all right.
So just to throw it out there, going over the accolades, I have beat every one of the Devil May Cry games except for Devil May Cry 6 on at least Dante Must Die.
Okay.
So I have a lot of time in these games, especially 3 and 4. I played them fucking games religiously because that's all I had for a long time. So I spent a lot of time with these games.
We need to preface that with you younger folks that might be listening to this. Back in the day, before there was digital, you could get anything at a whim. You had to go physically to a store, get a disc, take that disc back. Some consoles, depending on what they were, install that motherfucking disc onto your console, and then be able to play. So when someone says this is all I had, this is coming from I have 7 physical copies of games at one given time, and it's between those 7 games that I play. There's no this is downloaded to my console and I'm gonna play this when I feel like it. Like you have Genshin and Zona ZZZ, whatever y'all know, Zona Zen Zero or fucking Honkai Star Rail, all these 17 million free to play games on your system. We didn't have that. You had whatever you had in your, and shit, if we want to go fully back, you had whatever was in your CD binder full of games.
And hope it wasn't trash. Hope you didn't
hope it wasn't trash. And you had your method. I'm gonna play this for a couple hours. I'm gonna beat this again. I'm gonna go back and play this again and do whatever.
Get my ass up, walk to the console, take the old game out, put the other game back in.
My God.
So we need y'all to come. We need y'all when y'all listen to this to come with a certain level of appreciation for what y'all have now to what we had to deal with.
You know what they're saying? They're like, "Okay, boomer." That's what.
Okay, boomer. Let me 30 minutes. Let me 30 seconds fast forward this mother because what the fuck is this motherfucker talking about right now?
Right.
All right. So I apologize, Wonder, but your thoughts.
back in, I was just gonna say, back in my day, we had to take out the Samurai Warriors 2 Extreme Legends disc to put in the original Samurai Warriors 2 game and let it load for 30 seconds before we had to
Man,
pick
these
it up
kids, they
and
don't know
put back
nothing
in
about
the disc.
fucking deleting a save off a memory card to fucking for something else.
You have
Yep.
to two
Unlimited
discs
space. Y'all got cloud storage. Get the fuck out of here.
put us
And
up on the list. You get to the
controller.
you have to change the game. You have to literally take out the first disc, put in the second disc. You could not advance without doing that,
Man, you got to blow on it sometime.
brother. But yeah, so like I said, I spent some time in these games. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to these games. I will not be taking any kind of questions about this. So
I will not be taking any questions.
yeah,
Whatever I
I
say, my word
like
is
an NBA
bond.
player, no questions.
Yeah. I'm only here so I don't get fined.
Don't get fined. I'm only here so I don't get fined.
Nah. on some real shit though. I will. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give this anime a cool 8.
Wow.
That's high for you. What?
Yo,
Okay.
you got, for y'all have been listening for a long time, for him to give anything an 8 starting out without him discussing anything else is crazy.
Right?
This is the first time. This is episode 60. This is
It's
the
only
first time.
It's only a
in-
few for me, and I already knew his
This is
rating.
the first
his
time
rating
in
thing.
60 episodes he's giving anything a 8 straight without no commentary. So I need
Is
to hear
there-
this.
Is there an
Okay.
asterisk next to that 8?
Is that an
It is.
asterisk? Wonder.
It is.
Oh,
Oh no.
It- but-
you
but it's
got,
not
you
gonna
got a
change. It's not gonna
footnote.
change.
There's a footnote,
It's not
everyone.
the rating's not gonna change. It's not
Okay,
gonna change.
okay.
We talked about it. I mentioned it earlier. Y'all were talking about the Resident Evil show that y'all watched.
Oh, I was wondering about this.
And how like you felt like it wasn't faithful. And as much as we saw a lot of Easter eggs and stuff like that, the core parts of the story were changed in weird ways. Not to say they can't ever be changed, because one of the big examples I like to pull up is Shadow of Mordor, because that game is nothing but fan fiction, but it is still fucking awesome. And I will play that shit to this day. I play that game front to back any chance I get.
I
I
also
fucking love
put
that
in
game.
that I enjoyed the very first Chris Pine Star Trek movie. I
did
thought it
too.
was I thought it was great. And one of the first things that I even noticed about the series is they explained to you in the beginning that, hey, look, guys, please don't fucking come in your fucking pants off of anger. This is a completely separate timeline from what you're used to.
See,
That's what so when I go into new franchise or new spins and new takes, that's what I assume. I assume that while we have what we know this is supposed to be, if you fuck this up, this is going to be your own thing.
that's where I have a problem with it, because I don't trust people, because I have the proof. Like, I have the proof to say
The
that
Acolyte.
you
I'm talking about the Acolyte, everyone.
you cannot do that. I mean, the Acolyte, Concord. I mean, take a fucking pick of anything that's taken within the last 2 years, and you can point obvious fingers. But I'm not gonna get into that.
Well, I didn't get a chance to play at Concord. No one did.
No one did. But they did change core things about it that I wasn't a huge fan of, but it wasn't disjointed. Everything flowed together. Even knowing what they changed and knowing that things were wrong, I could still follow along with the story and it was still good. A big part of my problem with the anime was the characterization of Lady. And I'm
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, y'all need to understand. We had to pause the episode the season a few times because he was like, "What the fuck?"
Bro. So yeah, so same. Like at first I was like, it is what it is. But towards the end, I was like, okay, I fully understand what you're talking about now.
So I will say this. Oddly enough, this is probably gonna shock them because I hadn't said anything about it. Lady is one of my favorite characters in the series.
You did not mention that one time.
Yeah, you
the
did
whole time.
That's
Okay,
that's
let's
why,
go.
That's
So
why.
this is why
more
you
sense
were pissed off.
Right.
I fucking love Lady. Not only because she has Soy Fawn's hairstyle, but because in the games, I love her attitude, I love her motivations, I love her backstory. And she gets cool fucking weapons too.
Yeah.
And
Question.
Go ahead.
Did they so I played games 1 through 3, and then the DMC remake halfway through at least. Some of there were 5, but not enough to warrant even mentioning it. So Lady's story is completely different from the games.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
Just a short preface real quick. Her we're introduced.
I think I remember,
Arkham
but
first.
go ahead. Yeah.
We're introduced to her dad, Arkham first. No last name, just
This
Arkham,
is game.
or no first name. Yeah. No first name, just Arkham. He's an evil guy
Best way.
in a black suit with a book. And he reads from it and it's got knowledge about demon shit. We know he's a human, but he's got some form of demonic power. He knows way too much about the demon world and occult and shit like that. And he's working with Virgil. Not
What
for,
game?
he's working with Virgil. Number 3, Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening. So that's how we're introduced to him. We're introduced to Lady later on as just some, out of her depth interloper. It's adorable because in the game she's much younger.
Yeah, Dante doesn't take her seriously at first, right?
Why? We're not gonna get into that. We'll get into the power scaling later. But why would he take her seriously? She literally can't hurt the man.
Right.
But she's constantly like this firebrand that's in the way, and after it takes him a while to actually take her seriously and shit like that, because he's got shit to do. But once he takes the moment to actually listen to her and hear her story, there's a great fight in the library in the tower that they're going through, where these two, she's a boss battle. You fight, you get her motivations after you beat her and shit like that, and it's this great heartfelt fucking moment, because on one hand you finally Dante's finally breaking through and getting through that assholishness and be like, yo, what is your problem? What the fuck is going on? I'm trying to help. Why are you fighting me all the goddamn time? And on her end, it's finally breaking that fucking barrier and letting somebody in, but also you are forced to see somebody who is at the end of their rope, who cannot go any further. Literally, there's no power of friendship. There's no fucking reach deep and shit like that. There's literally nowhere else she can go.
Friendship solves everything.
You would think, but not in the demon world. And it's beautiful because you see someone get to reach out for help, and you see somebody with the power to do so. And they learn so much.
That being Lady reaching out for help, Dante helping her.
Yes.
Okay.
The story, the base story is, Arkham was looking for power.
Her father.
Yeah, he was obsessed with demon power and shit like that. His mother got in the way. She got killed off screen. Left her basically as an orphan to basically raise herself. And that's it. She's just this fucking scrappy bitch who kills demons and hates demons because her dad was corrupted by it. She thought in the story that he was corrupted by demon power. He wasn't,
and realized that he chose it.
Yeah. Also, the reason I thought he was the rabbit was because in Devil May Cry 3, there's also a character named Jester that shows up early in the game. Come to find out later, it's just a persona of Arkham.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he wants to get Sparta's power. He puts the two jewels together. He plays the two against each other and shit like that. It's actually pretty cool. But he ends up taking Sparta's power, becoming this ugly ass demon. But he can't really control the power. So Virgil and Dante end up killing him. Then they fight. They split the amulet. Virgil goes to hell, but he's wounded, so he gets snatched up by Mundus, and that's where the events of Devil May Cry 1 take place.
Okay.
I'm sorry if that ran long, but yeah. So, like I said, I love Lady's story.
I need y'all both. I'm gonna put this out there, episode 60, because I like even numbers. I need y'all both to understand that no amount of rambling is ever any need to apologize for. This is why I asked you two motherfuckers in particular to sit here and talk to me and talk about these things because I knew that we could talk about them for like hours on end. So you don't got to apologize for rambling, my friend, because it's all content.
Word.
And good conversation. Good conversation
and
first.
Content cows over here. That's all we are to you. Huh?
Content second. But go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, no, you good. So yeah, that's
just
that's the explanation of Lady's original backstory.
Okay.
From there, I don't think we see her again until Devil May Cry 4, where she is now a full-time devil hunter.
Stronger.
Stronger, much stronger. And much more confident than she was. In Devil May Cry 3, she was mostly just spunky and angry all the time.
Yeah, I remember
like that was her whole personality. You get to see in 4 where she's a lot more confident in herself. She's laid back. Even the attire she wears just like pantsuit, but it's the pants are like Daisy Dukes basically, but she wears like boots, heels, or whatever. And these like designer stuff. It's very like fashionista.
And that the outfit she had on in the flashback we saw when she was walking up to that dark home, didn't she have that on briefly? That outfit? It was like booty shorts, but then she had like these thigh-high boot things on.
No, it wasn't that.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
I need to look at that now, though.
You stupid.
But yeah, like her again, it's like she's a badass bounty hunter. She's got cash, or maybe not so much cash, but like she's got influence. She's giving Dante jobs. She's screwing him over on jobs too. They have a very cute relationship because they're like,
oh wow, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, they have a humorously antagonistic relationship. What they did with her in the show was just to make her this hardline bitch. Straight up. There's like very little flexibility to her. At every given turn, she's always trying to fuck over Dante outside the bounds of good taste.
Rico said this earlier, and he said it. He said, because early, I won't say like episode 3, 4, Sketch was like, what the fuck is our problem?
From the jump.
and me and Rico was like, oh, we understand to a degree. And then Rico said earlier, he was like, yeah, closer to the end. And then the same thing with me. I was like, damn, she ain't said that much. Now, when we talk about it, episode 3, 4, I was like, man, she's been a bitch, but I feel like the show as a whole is taking its chance to give her those quips. But towards the end, it was like, come on, man. Like, after a while, like, you don't need to say half the shit you saying.
Right. If she was a dude, he would have knocked her the fuck out, or knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah, like, she said some of the most craziest shit.
Yeah.
And it's down.
And if it wasn't anyone else, it's like, do we need to go outside? Like, why are you talking to me like this? Like, this is crazy right now.
Yeah.
And
okay.
It's only acceptable because she's supposed to be this badass female character. And I'm like, that in and of itself is
in
built
degree she
wrongly.
was, but not to the point that she yeah.
See, here's a problem with that. My second problem, the power scaling, which involves her. Anybody who played those games will tell you negative on everything that happened in this fucking anime involving her and those humans.
Yeah. I
negative,
man. She basically was doing what Trish would do. And Trish she's a demon, right?
Yeah, Trish is a full-on demon.
Yeah, she's basically fighting like Trish would be fighting alongside Dante. She was like that from the jump. Like now, if they had say she was a fighter but not as capable, and next season she's hanging with Dante, she's training, and she fights like that next season, that would be great. But yeah, she was very, because when I saw her in the trailer, I'm like, and she flipped, she came through the window and was flipping around and all this shit, and she took out all these top demons, not just regular runt demons, like top level demons. And now thinking about it, now I see why you're upset. Sketch.
And and here's my thing. I don't want to say anything because too many people like to try and use that as bait, or like as an excuse to sink your argument. Like, oh, you just girl, or you don't want a girl being awesome. Like, bro, play the fucking games.
Right. When you say she's your favorite character, it makes a lot more sense now why it irks you so bad.
When Dante shows up, he shoots a rocket at okay. So let me set the scene for you. He just got through killing Cerberus, which is the demon that's guarding the gate to the inner workings of the Temnegru, that big ass tower that they raised up. I'm not gonna talk about that. We'll just know he just beat a 3-headed dog. That was a fucking problem.
Yeah. Okay, y'all don't know Cerberus. Don't listen to us. Just so y'all know. Like, come on now.
That's basic nerd knowledge, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. And we appreciate y'all listening up to episode 60. But come on, Google Cerberus. And then come listen to episode 61.
So yeah, after he kills that, and he has this cool little fucking outro with the weapon that he gains from Cerberus. The next scene is her crashing through the window up near the ceiling on that red bike she had, which is fucking cool, by the way. She comes in, fucking tries to wing Dante, misses him, does the fucking Akira slide, and then shoots a fucking missile out of Kalina Ann at him. What does this nigga do? He kicks the rocket and rides it around the room. In the
I remember that shit.
And despite her me mugging him her best, she's flabbergasted.
Yeah,
because
as you should be.
Who the fuck rides a missile and a surprise missile at that? That because she straight up pulled up like a YN with that thing. Just out of fucking nowhere, just rocket, deal with it, and he did.
Yep.
And that is what set the tone for their interactions from there on. Because every time you saw they interacted, she was trying to shoot at him, and it just did not work because he's a fucking demon. And the whole thing was she thought that he was just a really powerful demon. She finds out later when they actually fucking talk after that fight that he has his whole own backstory and shit like that. Up until now, she just thinks he's a really strong demon that's an asshole just like everybody else. There's a serious plot development within the power scaling. And this is why I get pissed when people ignore this shit. Because when people ignore power scaling and shit like that, it's usually just because they don't want X character to be quote unquote overpowered, or they want everybody to be on an equal level or make the fights more interesting. They don't fucking know what they're goddamn talking about because they don't play the games. Like, there's a reason why she's not on Dante's level. Number one, she's a fucking human.
Right.
Like, case in point. Number two, he's out here fighting goddamn demons on the regular and getting like stabbed up and shit. That's another reason I didn't understand the whole, like, you know what, that's own section. So along with the power scaling, let's talk about the fucking the president or the vice president shit like that. Since when the fuck in the history of Devil May Cry did we have refugees in hell? Nothing to come out of hell besides Sparta was anything good. You know what this exactly looks like? It's not even like conjecture at this point. This is exactly what the fuck it is. So we're all comic book fans here, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We all know about Marvel's Kree and Skrull Empire, right?
Yeah.
It sounds exactly like what they did with Captain Marvel when they made the Kree refugees. Why are you trying to human and also like what they tried to do, they did a parody of it in the second Doom game where the one of the running gags was like, the demons aren't, invaders, they're immigrants. Because a big hot topic for those of us living across the pond, a big hot topic when those games came out was like immigration laws and things like that in the US. And so to poke fun at it, they used that as like a talking point within the game. Unfortunately, people who have no imagination and too much money shoehorn these things into our media where they just really don't belong. So now you get weird things like having demon refugees and shit like that. When nothing like
that was probably a plot more for the rabbit guy than it is.
Nah, because
that was his whole thing, though. That was his whole reasoning for why he was bad.
Exactly. You didn't need him.
Oh, right. Well, yeah.
Exactly. Like
I think this is more of a. Well, I'm trying to figure out where this would where this would fit in the plot or in the timeline of the games.
Nowhere.
I thought it was right because I would think it is a prequel, but when you introduce Lady, she doesn't get introduced till way later.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, she gets it by the timeline. She's introduced in the same timeline, but the problem is she's too old.
Right.
And why
when does he meet Trish then?
And why after this? Actually,
Before her?
No, after.
Oh, okay, so he meets Trish after her. Okay.
Remember, chronologically, it's Devil May Cry 3, Devil May Cry 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Gotcha.
Okay. 3, 1, 2,
4, and 5.
Where's 3?
3's at the front.
Say it one more time again.
So it's 3, 1, 2, 4, and 5.
3, 1, 2, 4, 5. So 3 is technically the first one.
Yep, that's Dante's Awakening.
And then 1, 2, 4, 5.
Yep. He meets Trish in 1, and then she dies in 1. In one of the worst voice acted fucking scenes ever. Like, millennial fans still talk about that shit. But yeah, what was up with the government? Like, all of a sudden now the government's involved. They know about demons and
I plan to talk about the government when I talk about it too.
Yeah.
Okay, word. So I don't get too much into it, but like I said, power scaling. What the fuck, nanobombs in his bloodstream? Like, first of all, how the fuck are you gonna lock Dante up in a truck? Second, first of all, how you gonna even get a hold of him like that to manhandle and all that kind of good shit? Like,
when it came to those points, I assume they played on to sedate him. They played on his human parts.
No, once again, we like I understand where you're coming from. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't, because they have responsibility.
So we have to give it to TV.
Like, they just, I don't know. Like,
I think it's they have to nerf them for a couple episodes, because they got to stretch this out.
It progressively got stronger, yeah. So
the problem is, we just watched the anime where the dude is overpowered.
Channeling.
Solo Leveling.
Oh, I haven't watched it. Okay.
Yeah,
you can't put this by Japanese anime standards. I know it looks anime, but it still is,
bro.
Well, I mean,
Capcom had their hands in it, and I'm
they only do. Oh yeah, I guess it's true. But I'm saying, like, it's 8 episodes. They got to nerf him because you got to give everybody else their backstory. I'm not making excuses for Netflix as a corporation. It's a fucking corporation. I'm just saying,
I've seen overpowered characters before in recent anime. You just got to write better. You just at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, and you know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna pass the torch. Anybody who is on this podcast and listening right now probably has a job, probably has had to work for most of their life, right?
Think so.
So why is it?
Hey, we gave that pause so y'all can say yeah.
So why is it that when in your regular life, your regular job, if you're not up to snuff, somebody will tell you about it. But when it comes to these, fan project shit like that, we get so mealy-mouthed about the shit, and we get so humble that we can't tell motherfuckers when they're fucking up. And
I don't believe that. Fans are very vocal when shit's fucked up, especially nowadays.
Here's the problem with that. They're vocal at the wrong times. It's easy to be vocal at the end.
He's specifically talking about the Star Wars community,
brother.
I'm talking about them. I'm talking about
everybody.
Community. I'm talking about everybody, really.
Yeah,
I think they are vocal, but the problem with being vocal is what they're gonna do is if they're vocal, they're gonna cancel it. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I'm glad we had this. Like how Saint says, I'm glad we had it. I'd rather us have it and it be some kind of flaws than not. It's because it's not the end of the day what the stuff's wrong with it. You gave it an 8. You did.
That's why I was going to try to say, like, so you gave it an 8. So just so you guys know, he gave it an 8 straight up.
Right.
8 story, 8 whatever visually. What will you give it?
Visually, I stand by that. Visually, I'll give it a 9 on visuals because I really do fuck with the art.
So yeah, just so y'all know, we do a overall story, blah blah blah, and then visually, because visually it can look amazing and still fucking suck. We just like to do that. So
overall, I give it an 8. That's the average. That's the aggregate. As visuals, I'll give it a solid 9.
Okay.
It was gorgeous. As an anime in its genre, once again, haven't played the games, have like being a connoisseur of this kind of content, like this is specifically my favorite kind of anime. I give it a 5.5, maybe a 6. Based on story and everything else, and truthfulness to the source material.
Truthfulness. He said that now, but y'all heard 8 in the beginning.
Yeah. You're dumb.
I give it.
You gonna hold him to that 8?
Yeah, based on story, I give it a 5.5. As an anime in its genre,
that's the 8.
I give that.
No, that was the 5. What'd you give?
He had different categories.
Yeah.
All right.
That was the main 3. As film or movie or TV show in its genre, off of visuals, and then overall.
Overall was your 8.
Yep.
5. You're right. That's what we said. In this genre, 5. A visual, you gave it a 9, and overall 8.
Yep.
All right. Rico.
So I played the games, and I think right before we started this, you had asked me when I played them. I think I played them as they came out, so it would have been
same.
PlayStation. I don't even know what the first one was. Was it 2? PlayStation 2 or 3? I can't remember.
I'm literally on the fucking wiki right now. Devil May Cry. The first one came out on
4 came out what 2008?
2. You're right. 2. So it was 2 and 3 on.
2. So 2 and 3 were on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's when I actually played them, and after watching the show, I need to give them their justice and go back and play them. I just don't know if I have the reflexes for that shit anymore.
Honestly,
because
go back and play 3.
3 was so I don't know if y'all remember this. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I don't know if y'all remember when 3 came out. It was so fucking hard that Capcom came back and turned the difficulty down because it was even on normal. Yes, when that game came out, it was so fucking hard, even on normal, that people complained, and so Capcom released a patch to nerf the whole thing.
Put a pin in that. Remind me later about this specific thing about the difficulty.
Okay. Yeah, and like I said, I
got a note right now.
So I played 6. That came out last year, the year before, whenever that was. And I was about halfway through it, and I'm like, this game's fucking hard. I don't have the reflexes for it anymore, and remembering all the combos and all that shit. But I do love the story. This game and Resident Evil are probably some of my favorite stories.
Same. We got a Resident Evil episode fucking coming, dude. I promise.
Right, and what's sad is I haven't played a lot of the games, but when they come out, I watch videos of people playing them, so I'm pretty, for the most part, up to date with the stories. I even watch those little CG movies that come out every so often, every couple of years. Those are good. They're actually they're campy as hell, especially nowadays.
They are, but
I still enjoy them.
The books, the CGI movies, the dumb fucking games. I love the one. So I love zombies in general, but the Resident Evil series is probably my top. So I love all that shit. They're not great, but if you're a fan of the series, they're awesome.
Right, and I love like any kind of entry into Resident Evil. I always watch it
because it's always it's extra info into their universe,
and it's always a swing, and it's majority of the time a miss, but I do watch it. But that being said, I love Devil May Cry story, and I've always liked it. For this show, for me overall, I'm gonna give it a 9. I don't have the I don't have the kind of history with it that Sketch does, and that's just I haven't played them as often. This makes me want to go back and play them, or at least watch the cutscenes, or somebody play them.
I literally mentioned in the beginning, like, oh, people are gonna watch this, they're gonna want to play the games. I was talking shit halfway through. I was like, man, I cannot wait to play one of these fucking games.
Right, exactly. Or at least I might go back and finish 6 because I did watch the end of it, but I might want to
I'll
go back
probably
and finish.
for me being who I am now, and while appreciating how games were,
Mhm.
and the game that did that for me was Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver
Oh,
2.
I love those games. I love those.
Dude, it was so
I
good.
love those
So,
games.
but that was like, yeah, that was a time where I appreciated when games were like this, but
Mhm.
games aren't like that anymore. And so I have to be in a specific mood to want to play games like this. So I feel like going to 3 might be a stretch, but I'm going to that last one quick.
Mhm. And
3 plays a lot like 4.
Sorry, Sketch. I'm sorry.
No, you good. 3 plays a lot like 4. They're kind of like all similar. 5 is the biggest
I
departure.
have them all.
But
The
2
PlayStation
and 1,
and Xbox, all of them are given away free for like ever.
yeah, 2 and 1
Not
still have the
anymore. Not if
fixed
it's
camera
Amazon.
angles.
Oh,
For
2 and 1 does?
Yeah, 2 and 1. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they still have those because remember it was still almost like still tied to Resident Evil.
That's right. That's right. Because
Oh, just so y'all didn't
Onimusha was
know.
fixed camera too, and all those games kind of.
Yep.
Goddamn,
We
Capcom's
36
got some
minutes.
bangers on their shit, don't
Dude,
they? I
yo,
just thought about
listen.
that.
Listen.
Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Onimusha,
Y'all need to know that we 36 minutes in, but y'all need to know that Devil May Cry started out as a Resident Evil 2
That's right.
game.
Yep.
Tony Redgrave was the original name for Dante Sparta, and the name still lives on as a reporter inside of the DMC timeline.
That is awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, the original Devil May Cry game started out as a Resident Evil 2 a sequel to Resident Evil, and they realized that the gameplay was completely different, and they wanted to stick more to what Resident Evil was. So they took that and made the first Devil May Cry, and
that explains the camera angles and all that shit because that's what Resident Evil was at the time. But yeah, I give the show overall for me a 9. And what it was for me, it was the little things. The characterization of Dante was fucking spot on. He is every early 2000s puka shell, bleached tips. Listening to the music was I don't know when the show.
Where are you?
Oh God, yes.
I don't know when the show takes place. It feels like 90s, early 2000s to me, but they don't really say. But the music choices that's the shit he would listen to. He would be listening to that shit. It all fit. And I think what really sold it for me, and I think we all laughed, is when they busted into his place. They were shooting at him, and he's standing next to him. I'm talking about, what are we shooting at? What are we shooting at? I'm like,
first off, he was so fast in between all of those bullets, and like Rico said, he got so fast. He was so fast. He was standing beside these dumb motherfuckers shooting at the wall. He's like, "Well, who are we shooting at?"
And I'm
everyone turns and looked at him. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
And what's funny is the typical special ops team. They get a look at Dante like this guy. We're gonna get this fucking guy, and and they get in there and what I do like is he doesn't kill humans, but he did embarrass the shit out of them. And when he did that sold it for me. He had the character. Johnny Young Bosch nailed the voice, and he's a good voice actor because he's been doing it for a minute now.
Great Power Ranger.
Great Power Ranger, and so yeah, that sold it for me. Now the story, I don't remember the story enough to where like the only story I really care about is him and his brother. That's the good storyline.
I do agree. The meat and everyone knows about Sparta and who Dante is, but the meat and potatoes is that brother story.
Now, given the rabbit story was made up, I'm assuming made up for this show.
Yeah.
His reasonings, his everything he did, you were like, you know what? I get it.
Yes.
I get it. And that's what makes a good villain. Anybody says it. If you sympathize, or at least I won't say sympathize, if you understand the villain, then that's a good villain.
I didn't say anything about that.
What's that? A good villain?
I forgot to mention that. I can say something later though. It's good.
You can go ahead if you want.
I was just gonna say along with the alien thing, like the ham-fisted, like, oh, America, like.
I think that was on purpose. But
Oh
that
yeah, it
shit
was.
was
It was on
that shit
purpose.
was
It was
funny though.
too heavy-handed. I was like,
Yes, very much.
are we fighting demons here? Or are we fighting in the military-industrial complex?
Yeah,
Like,
we was doing that Bush shit. Hell's got weapons of mass destruction. We got to go find them.
yeah,
Go ahead
like,
and get some of that oil while we there.
That shit was.
I was like, can y'all go a minute without making it
Yeah,
political? Just wanna fight demons.
yeah, that was weird. Yeah, that cabinet thing, that was weird. But I do appreciate Kevin Conroy. That's one of
Absolutely.
his last roles before he passed, and I couldn't help but hear Batman in that. What else? The animation. So I don't know if it's the same that does Castlevania, but it feels like it. But I don't know. I don't know if y'all seen
It looks
the
like it.
right the Voltron reboot?
I watched a few episodes of it. I enjoyed it. I never finished it.
It's pretty.
Yo,
It's very good.
you and I actually have a fun story
We do
about the
if you wanna say it
Voltron
on-
remake. We don't have to say no names.
I don't even. What are you talking about? I don't remember.
You remember the Voltron remake? So the Voltron remake came out on Netflix, and for y'all don't know, the black Voltron Lance, he's gay in the new Voltron.
Huh?
You remember? Rico?
Yeah. Okay. I remember that, but what's the story?
That was a story. There was a guy that came. He said he's not going to let his kid watch Voltron.
Oh, I remember now. That's right.
Yeah.
He refused to let his kid. And what's funny is they don't even mention that shit because I think it's 5 seasons or so.
Rico. He even said, he was like, man, it's like a 20 to 30-second flashback that shows him
in the
hugging.
5th season. You don't even know it. Like it might be one sentence that they mention anything about it, but you don't even see anything. And it's not even, he just has his arm around somebody. And that's like the last bit of season 5. But up until like the whole show was great, but this dude refused to let his kid watch it.
Let us know that he wasn't gonna let his kid watch it because
we were just talking about the show and he came over there and said that shit. We're like,
whoa,
all right, bro.
Okay,
but sorry to get over.
Yeah. Anyways, but so the animation, I think it might be the same team that did that Voltron show because it's very I don't know, fight scenes are always great in these kind of shows. And I'm not sure who said it. I don't know if it was Sketch or Biscuit. But I said, I don't really like when they do that 3D thing. But he mentioned they're only doing it with the demons and it makes them look weird because yeah. And so I was like, when he said that, I was like, oh, okay. That makes, I mean, I'm not sure if they thought about it like that, thought about it that way. But when you,
it did make sense though.
Right, but it makes sense. They're only doing it on the demons because they're weird and it makes them look a little stranger. And I was like, okay, I appreciate that. Because my thing with that 3D, because it never moves as fast as the 2D in the same scene. It always and like y'all said, animating on the 2s, and that's what it is. And that's what they just look out of sync with the rest of the 2D shit. But in that it fit. Let's see. What else did I enjoy? I do wish he picked up all them weapons that he fought everybody with, but that is, I don't know how he would. In the game, we know how it just disappears, but how would they do that in the show?
They weren't. To be fair, they weren't even all like in their whole like demon form, like boss form.
Right, you're a little low. You're a little low, Sketch.
I didn't realize I was away from the mic. But I was going to say, to be fair, all of them were like basically street level thugs, basically, because like in the games, none of them could fit in that fucking carrier. Like I think the smallest one might have been Agni and Rudra, and they could ride in them motherfuckers like Tonka trucks. Like there's no way the whole gang is fitting in there. I will say I did like the silhouette though of all them standing in the background and shit. That shit was cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
Sorry, you jumped in there.
No, you're good. Now, probably one of my favorite was the backstory episode between Lady and
the rabbit.
The rabbit. That was probably my favorite episode. It was so good that I don't think any of us were even talking shit.
No, we all just sat there and glued.
And it reminds me of, I'm pretty sure other shows have done it, but off the top of my head is in The Last Airbender. There's that episode that showed how Aang and Zuko's upbringings were really simple or similar because they were both being groomed to be these great things, and they didn't want the responsibility at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And so they both run away, or Zuko gets burned, and so on and so forth. But in that episode was really good because it shows them shit. All three of them really, her, Lady, the rabbit, and Dante had shitty upbringings, and they all came out three different ways. You know, shit. The rabbit, he probably had the worst. He had to go to hell to get a better life. Like he was in an orphanage, going to these different homes. They was slapping the shit out of him, and he was like, he just saw some random ass portal open. He's like, whatever's on the other than this portal got to be better than what I'm dealing with here.
We walked
through it. And when I was watching him do that, I was like, man, and he went over there, and the fucking demon was like, holy shit, here just fucking humans. Are you okay? And they
no. At first, he almost got his ass eaten by that big ass thing. He just lucky. Yeah, he lucky he rolled up on the refuge. Well, they weren't refugees at the time, but like nice demons, I guess is what you would call them. And then you find out, they're getting treated shitty there too. The air's toxic, like kids is dying and shit. And so he finds a way to get them all back. And sure enough, their stories start to collide. Turns out the only reason he's the rabbit and as shitty as he is
because of fucking Lady.
It's because of Lady. Your favorite character's good. So, and that was probably my favorite episodes. There was the animation change when he was in hell. Like when you think hell, you would think they would like take the animation, go crazy with it. But no, it was more like a how those entry movies in the Pixar, they always
animation. I actually made a note that like the animation change was like like right in the middle of the probably the season. A great just like ginseng on like everything that was going on. And I want to say we learned a lot in the episode.
We did. There was a lot.
Lady and
there was not a word. There was not a word spoken.
Barely.
That's
right. It was a quiet episode.
And that's great. That's great fucking storytelling. You had everything you need to know. Not a word. A word was spoken all through.
Not until he came out of the portal. You're right.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep. I think there was a few words at the end, but that whole thing, you got everything you needed to know about these two fucking characters in that one episode. So that's probably I give it a 9 just off of that episode alone.
I would agree. Just that episode alone was fucking amazing.
Which is crazy in a show like this. You wouldn't even expect an episode like that with your character. You would think it'd be Dante, him just quipping his way through. And I can already hear people, because people are tired of quips. Like people always
yes.
People are tired of quips.
Disney.
But it is because of Disney. But for a character like Dante, it fits because that's just how he is. He's kind of like Star-Lord in Disney, that just always talking shit. He's to the point where you want to like knock his ass out, but you can't because he's fucking strong. You can't. That's the problem.
Literally, one of the fucking dudes was like, "Whoa! You talking about Dante?"
Yeah.
Nah, I was on a fucking mission with Dante once. I'm out of here. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Y'all crazy. Fuck this shit. I mean, apparently his life was worth $500K. But
which is not enough to me.
Before he heard the price, he was like, y'all, nah, I'm good. Y'all fucking with the wrong one right now.
Right.
I'm out of here. But yeah.
But
you can't beat his ass.
You can't.
He got half his fucking face blown off.
Yeah, and that's the worst people that talk shit, is the people whose ass you can't beat, so. But besides that, his quips, he did say some funny shit. And I can't even think of it all right now. So he did say a lot of funny shit. And I don't know if y'all caught this. He's dumb as hell. So when they was on the plane, the blue and red demon, I forgot the names. One of them said, we've been getting tortured or whatever for 2 millennia. And Dante said, that makes y'all over 200,000 years old. A millennia is only 1,000. So he's dumb as hell. I don't know if y'all caught that.
Yeah,
I did.
That was kind of weird.
Yes.
That was funny.
And he would be dumb. He can't be. He's not Virgil. Virgil is the smart and the strong one. They're just Dante. Just you point.
Speaking of, like, there was a moment in the anime where both Virgil and Dante received their separate half a necklace, and they were pushing each other and literally like fucking Clash of Titans and shit in their living room.
Furniture flipping.
And the mom was like, "Y'all need to stop." And I'm like, you need to get the fuck out of the way is what you need to fucking do, because
bro,
they knocking chairs over and shit by just punching each other.
The couch.
Yeah, they flipped the couch. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all. I think that's all I had. So yeah, overall, I give it a 9.
Overall, 9. Yeah.
Yeah. And what were the other 2? I forgot.
Visually
is 9.
Okay, and then in this genre as anime.
So, and that one I struggle with because I don't know what to compare it to. If I were to compare it to, say,
any other action,
Castlevania,
or like Castlevania, if I were to say Castlevania I like more. So I would probably Castlevania being probably damn near a 10, probably a 9.5.
Damn,
I would give this an 8.
I cannot fucking wait to watch Castlevania, dude.
Now
I cannot fucking wait.
Don't let me ruin it for you. I just really enjoy it.
No,
Castlevania story
I
is
trust
another
my
one.
friends' opinions blindly. Blindly. If you tell me it's fucking good, it is fucking good. And
don't fuck up and give him the wrong recommendation.
No.
Right?
Listen. When I promise you,
pressure,
and all of y'all listening out here, I'm old. I'm 40 years old, and when I tell you that I won't endorse or speak on anything that I don't 100% trust, it will be the people in my inner circle that I do. If they say it's good, and I don't ever be led astray, so I guarantee it's going to be good. I'm excited for it. Now, it's been on the list for like Wonder sketch shit, fuck, whatever. We talked about this months ago.
I'm surprised I haven't watched it. Yeah,
ago, actually.
A bunch of other stuff jumped.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, new stuff
in
the way.
I think as far as storytelling, Castlevania is better. It has it's a lot more serious than Devil May Cry is, but Castlevania, especially the first 3 seasons, because I'm trying to think. The first 3 seasons are great to me. And the storytelling is great, and I like the Castlevania story, but that shit is more confusing than like Resident Evil, just because of how many generations and everything. It spans centuries, because it's crazy.
It's much more coherent than the Devil May Cry story was, because they're not trying to turn certain, like, to adapt certain parts to a certain kind of audience. They're just giving you a story.
I did. You know what? I did feel that way the entire time. It's like, this isn't for anyone except for people who like in your fucking face action and this fucking badass fucking dude who talks shit to fucking everyone. And there's one fucking girl who's annoying sometimes, but she's also a badass sometimes also. And then cool fucking demons. If you don't like this, go fucking watch something else.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's how I'm starting mine.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, that's literally how I'm starting mine. Like I honestly and truly can't say anything more than what Rico and Sketch have said about how great this show is and how it has its moments where it's just a little bit much. I did take a few notes about some of my favorite parts. There was a moment in the first or second episode where Dante grabbed the guy and uppercutted the guy, and then it did the fucking Ken dragon uppercut.
Oh, that shit, the segue into the fucking game.
Into the game. Perfect.
Capcom. It hit a Street Fighter 2 cabinet that Ken was doing the uppercut on at the same time. Yep.
Right.
Give that man a raise. Give that man a raise.
The storyboard in particular needs a raise for that.
We gotta talk about Tyrell with the good hair, the overly fucking black but not fucking character, with the blonde hair. It's like, man, I just want to go home, motherfucker. Right. I don't even want to be here.
They got my kid.
It's some bullshit. This giant ass shit.
That's
what I heard.
Are you out your goddamn mind?
Yep.
Goddamn, that's what I heard.
He did say that one time, and it was funny. I forgot what he said it for. He said that's what did he say?
They were talking
He
about
said, "Oh hell
going
no!" He
going
said
after
something like
Dante
that.
again. They were like,
Yeah,
we're gonna go after. Are you out your goddamn mind?
yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
So he was a point of contention because while I enjoyed him at moments, I at certain moments I realized it made me remember that whoa, they stereotyping me. Don't laugh at
yeah.
this.
100%.
Don't enjoy this because they doing this to laugh in your face. So I that you know, we talked about the fact that the animation was so good because the fight scenes, the transitions, the overall visually for me, I'm giving it a fucking 10. Without having seen fucking Castlevania, any whatever, 10. Some of the shit Dante did, some of the shit other people did, just the smoothness of everything, character design, it was a 10 for me. And Rico made a joke that like they had these animators in there like Mappa with these saw traps, fucking making sure they got the shit out where they're supposed to. I don't know what Netflix got going on, but damn, that production value was fucking. It was a 10 for me. That's me. So visually for me is already a 10. I'm gonna save this one for last. All right, so we had a Mega Man bobblehead, which Capcom, bravo, motherfuckers, putting your own shit in there. I appreciate that. We already talked about the origin episode. The rabbit and lady episode was amazing.
The Nello.
What I get? Go ahead.
The Nello Angelo cameo that we got with Virgil
in the beginning.
In the beginning when he was like Mundus' soldier and shit. That shit was cool. And then he transformed at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Super dope. Yeah, that actually was a super fucking dope scene. I don't know if you guys know the Crazy Town Butterfly song, Butterfly. You're my
Yep.
Whatever fucking dude was like, oh yeah, man, you need a ride, you can ride this dick. And she shoved the fucking gun in his fucking mouth.
I gotta say something about that real quick.
I knew what had something to say about that.
Okay. It's been a problem with me for a long time now. The biggest and like most recent besides Lady was in the Captain Marvel movie. Now I paid good money. Yeah, the first Captain Marvel movie.
You went and saw the movie?
Yes, I went and saw it in theater.
I saw the first one in the theater. It wasn't.
I haven't seen any of them. That's 2 Captain Marvels. Oh yeah, the second Captain Marvel has. Okay, yeah. I haven't seen any of the Captain Marvels.
So in the first one, she does the Terminator thing, where she walks up, and these dudes are sitting outside the bar. I don't know how these women, these tough, strong women, always find these fucking sleaze bags.
The worst dudes in history.
The worst. Like literally nobody says this shit out loud unless you are drunk or on something.
That shit pisses me off when I see men talk to women the way
because nobody does that.
This is not real life.
Who grabs some fucking body? Who puts their hands in someone's back pocket and grabs their whole ass? Like that's not a thing that happens anymore.
But
I agree. It used to.
Yeah, it's
not anymore.
Yeah, it used to, but not now. Like people are much more self-aware, and it's always the fact that like it's always the strong female type that needs to like take something. In Lady's case, it was the car. In Captain Marvel's case, she took his glasses and the jacket after they said she should smile more.
Mm-hmm.
And
I feel like in that scene, I feel like somebody in New York would say that shit though. You gotta ride this.
Yeah, but like
usually they would cut it off, but he said the whole thing too.
Yeah, he's also not gonna be riding in a fucking Mazda Spider or what the fuck.
That's true. Yeah,
like they just whole ass played that scene up, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because if we're gonna sit here and like let people talk shit about macho standards of masculinity or whatever, like we don't want we're tired of the same old tropes, and we're not tired of that yet.
Like they said the whole fucking thing. That was crazy.
Sorry, I'm getting on the soapbox, but I'm tired of seeing that shit. Like, come on,
you fine.
Every dude you come across is a scumbag.
In particular, yeah. But he literally did say you can ride this dick.
Dick.
Yeah, he did. He
And
listen.
listen. That's not
I
even.
appreciate it wasn't a
you can
black
ride-
dude too. That easily could have been a black dude.
Woo!
That easily could have been a black
I
dude.
appreciate that the fact that they let him say you can ride this dick. They didn't
Right.
stop him before he said
Didn't
it.
cut it off.
He said,
Like if
They
"Oh,
did cut
you
it
need a
off, but she
ride?"
snatched
No,
his
no,
ass
no,
up.
no, no, no,
he
no.
said the whole thing before she got that gun in his
You
mouth.
need a
Yeah.
ride? Oh, you can ride this
Ride
dick.
this
And then
dick
she
and dick.
shoved the fucking gun in his mouth.
Yep.
I
he
was
said
like,
the
holy
whole
fuck.
thing.
So that was that was my thing. So I got 2 more points, and then we good for the episode. So and this is to say that here at Just Booling, we support and accept everyone of any whatever you want to be. We love y'all. Thank you for listening. The president was zesty.
As fuck.
The president said in the beginning.
For no
He
reason.
said just give him what they want. Just give him what he wants.
Because when he started talking, he didn't sound.
No,
he didn't.
He just sounded like Boss Hog.
We actually paused the episode because Rico was like, "That's the president." I was like, well, "Who?" He was like, "The guy right there." I was like, "The guy with the American tie sitting at the end with a cowboy hat is the
They
president."
had this dude looking like an oil baron, or what was his name?
He looked like Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, Yosemite Sam. Yeah,
Yosemite Sam and Boss Hog had a love child.
Yeah, Boss Hog.
It was gross.
And then then the guy was like, the vice president was saying shit, and then he was like, just give him whatever he wants.
Just give what they want.
Whatever.
Oh.
And so I was like, damn. And then at the end of the day, he was like, just so you guys know there's some demons. And there's some and there's oil in hell, and we just need to get there.
We just go and get it and set up a detention center.
It was fucking crazy.
Yeah,
So
that ending was wild.
That ending was wild, and but also goes to show what the fuck would actually fucking happen.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And we discovered a portal to hell,
100%.
and somehow fucking beat fucking back demons. We would fucking farm the shit out of fucking hell. I don't get it. It's whatever.
They started with an opening salvo of missiles on children, and then just went to town after that.
Nukes.
Nukes.
They shot nukes in the hell.
Nukes.
I saw at least one fat boy.
Yeah.
And so and you know it's America. We order supersize, so that means it's a 6-piece at least.
Oh yeah.
Golly.
Then we set up a detention center in hell, a fucking or a mining rig in hell.
I cannot wait for season 2. The last statement I got was one we talked about in length. Lady's father, when she was a child,
oh brother,
she went through some hardship, and while they were in the subway, they were attacked by a demon. Lady, being a headstrong kid, she pointed her little toy gun and she carried. She said, "I'm going to protect the family." Her father grabbed the mother and said, "We need to get out of here."
Well, no,
he wanted to leave.
Froze up.
He froze. He grabbed her and froze.
No, he grabbed the mom and they were leaving. Then the mom turned around to go back to get the daughter.
Because
but
of
the dude
the kid. The
dad was frozen.
Did he leave?
Yeah, dude. He tried to grab the mom and leave.
Yeah, and she turned around to go get the kid.
And she turned around to get the kid, and the kid was like, "Oh, I'm going to save us from the demons." Then the demon got hit by a train, so everyone was saved. That's fine. The family go home. The father's he's obsessed with the occult. He's got so again, what Wonder said goes back to the first game with Lady's father. He's obsessed with the occult, demons, stuff like that. But in the anime, he's obsessed with the cult. He getting to his wife. They argue. He's like, I need power to protect my family, he said, raising his voice. And she said, like you protected us in the subway.
Yeah. That shit
she said, like you protected us in the subway.
Mind you,
and when I tell you, I want to make the fucking album art for this episode his eyes turned around and
better.
saying, "What
You
did you
better
say?"
do that.
He said, "What did you say?"
The way he whipped around, I felt like, ooh.
He,
She was gonna die now.
the way
Yeah.
his eyes whipped around, she called his mama a bitch.
Yeah. And the way she fired that shit out, she had it in the chamber.
She was
Like, there was
ready.
There was no preamble to this. So
Waiting.
They weren't arguing. He was just saying, like, I need to protect my family. And she just boom.
bro,
ready to go.
mind you, he had just seen that demon get splattered. Nobody
Mhm.
believed him. And
He did go to the
froze.
cops. He
Yeah,
did
went
go to the cops, and the cops laughed at
his
him.
ass. Yeah.
They left him out of the
he
building.
froze
Actually.
at a crucial
There was
moment
like
in
6 of them
time
laughing at him.
where he was supposed to be protecting his family. And he's like,
Mhm.
I gotta figure out something. And I'm assuming because the way they did the transitions, this is like at least weeks, maybe a month after all this has happened. Because
we can admit he was a little obsessed.
Yeah, he was definitely a little obsessed, but it was for a purpose. He's like, there's stuff out here, nobody's believing me, nobody's trying to help me. I got to do this myself. I got to get more power so I can protect my family. And then this chick goes, like, you protected us in the subway.
He turned around. Around like
justifiable crash out. Justifiable crash out. Bitch, I'm
I
not trying to do better. What do you do?
paused the episode and wrote in parentheses, acceptable crash out.
Yep.
She said, like you protected us in the subway. He turned around so fast. He needed
with the
a
bloodshot
neck brace.
eyes. Ooh.
He needed a neck
murder.
brace.
Also, honorable mention for reasonable crash out. Fucking lady when she had all those fucking kids shot.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like you know what? I don't agree with his methods, but I understand. She was racist from the jump. Remember the people's apartment?
In the apartment, bro.
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
As soon as he pulled that hood down,
I didn't like her
site.
character overall, just because like it's one of those things. Like, how do you feel? How do you grow to like a character who learned the error of their ways, but she still fucked people up.
Yeah.
Dante and the human were sitting too close, and she turned on the fucking flamethrowers.
Yep. And then remember when he was like, I'm the only one that can do this, whatever. She shot his ass in the leg.
And she said,
and he still had to go over there and save her ass.
I got a note. He said, I'm the only one that can do. She said, yeah, fuck that. And shot him in the fucking leg with a gun.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to tell him, as she closed door on him, that it ain't got shit to do with you. This is my fight.
You're right.
Now, mind you, if the shoe had been on the other foot, we'd have been on this podcast talking about how he completely invalidated her story.
Right.
And just to complete erasure. And what about her and her feelings and shit like this? I'm just like,
I guess demon. She's demon sis.
I will say they did right by her in keeping that hostility towards him in the beginning, as far as like not knowing if he was a demon or not.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
That was a good touch, even though it was buried by all the bullshit they put on the character. It's the reason I pressed through with it. Because overall, even with the stuff they added, it was still a decent story. I didn't so much care for the whole like refugees and hell thing, just because it's fucking stupid, but it was well written. Like
I actually enjoyed that aspect of it, because in the games you do hear about the evil demons wanting to get in. You hear about the ones that cross over and do whatever. And to me personally, my enjoyment with certain stories and stuff is seeing how the people who aren't involved have to deal with this shit. Because I didn't realize. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't even dawn on me until literally this series that there were some demons over there were just fucking demons chilling, fucking goddamn.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Handling their own fucking business and shit. So that caught me off guard. But also, they killed all of them.
Yeah, I
It
mean
did.
they kind of had to. The problem with that, and I wonder how they're going to address it. It's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to the next season
I'm
is
looking for season
because
2 because they have to address how
where
they
they're
got.
gonna where they're gonna go, because in the Devil May Cry series there are no good demons. Like any demon that comes from hell besides Sparta is
I don't know, man.
evil.
Those guys seem nice. They
That
do
was the
stay with
whole.
those one demons for
Well, yeah,
years.
in the show, I'm talking about in the game though. In the
Uh,
game, we don't have any basis for that, because anything that comes out of hell immediately wants to kill everything. There were no refugees. Anything in hell was a demon, like just straight up.
I'm
Just
curious
didn't
about
like
that
it.
too.
So I
Um,
want to see what they do with it, because like I said, it is made up, or all of it's made up, but it is like an original story point. But I want to see where they go with it, because like I said, I like that character. I want to see what he meant by that
I'm
when he
excited
said,
for that
like,
too.
because he that
I
shit he said at the at the end, right before Dante dropped him in the water. He was like, I just want you to know, before all this ends, you could have stopped this.
I thought that
Because
was him coming back and
him
opening the gate anyway. Isn't that what he meant? Or do you mean something else might happen?
Yeah, it seems like something else happened, because that was too
yeah,
big of a statement to just be like, oh, this
Bro,
portal is just
oh, I
gonna
see what
stay
you're
open.
saying. Right.
It was too ominous. You feel me? Like
Mhm.
I get that.
something's going on. I want to see what's going on here.
I get that. I think again for me, series overall as like I watched the show and enjoyed it and played some of the games, I'm gonna say a 9. Visually is a 10. In its genre, being the only one that I know of, not having watched any of the Castlevanias, and I would be willing to, change my statement later after I watch
All
Castlevania.
right, man. I hope this series delivers the way you
I,
what you
I,
hype it up.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna, because it's the only one I've seen. I got to give it a top. I enjoyed everything about it. To be perfectly honest, I haven't played the games and having because you can have a reference of I know what Devil May Cry is, but there's a difference of playing majority of the games and knowing the story and then watching this. So having done that and watched this, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I think it's going to be good. The last thing we're going to touch on, and you guys both talked about it. So okay. So wait. So it was I gave it 9 overall, visually 10 in its genre. I'm gonna give an 8.
Okay, that's pretty good.
But the last thing we're gonna touch on is the Devil May Cry 3 difficulty patch.
Oh,
You looked it up?
oh.
No, you told me
So
to make a note of it. You said it
Oh,
was hard, and Warner said it was hard.
yeah.
so I'm not gonna say it was hard, and the reason I'm gonna say that is because of Devil May Cry 1. Most people don't remember, because like people our age aren't not everybody's into that shit. Like not everybody was like into it hardcore like that. Most people just played the game just to play the game and get through it. Um the enemies in most of the Devil May Cry, especially the early ones, 3 and backwards, have devil triggers. In the first game, this shit was way overblown.
Okay.
Hear me when I say this. They had like you have the regular pool of health and energy that the enemy, like the boss, has, and you know how like you can go in the devil trigger, it can do that too, but it's regulated by the computer, so it won't just spam it and then run its clock out or whatever and then not have anything. It's constantly generating. It could constantly do this on
So it hit
harder
Devil Trigger and stayed in Devil Trigger
for a good minute. Case in point, darkness. On the hardest difficulties, the damage reduction and the amount of life that this thing had, also being able to one shot you hit like a fucking truck when it transformed, was evil. And that's just one of the enemies. I think I can't remember any of the enemies that didn't have it that weren't boss battles, especially the Thunder Chicken and Nello Angelo. But when I tell you those old, like the new games, obviously they're difficult. They're like up to Capcom stuff. But them older ones from 3 back, brother, let me tell you, it was a different ball game because they don't do it now.
I was Googling while you was talking. So apparently it was only harder here in America. Americans was talking shit about how easy Devil May Cry 2 was. So Capcom said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they upped the difficulty in 3, but only in America. And I'm just trying to find, I'm just going through some Reddit shit, but yeah, for some reason America got a harder mode. Even normal was harder than Japan and Europe. But that's mostly because people was talking shit about how easy Devil May Cry 2 was. So that's what it was. And then we complained when it was too hard, so they passed it back down to what it was in other countries.
We have the most no lifers per capita.
They said, "Fuck you."
True. Then Japan, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The difference between Japan and here is that Japan has a culture for it. Like they have
that's
like
a
government culture for it.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
Just
for difficulty.
Love of the game.
No, he's called no lifers.
Yeah. Like there's a whole like you know what I'm talking about, saying there's a whole like culture, like there's a section of space made out for no lifers. In America, you do that shit for love of the game.
Right.
Like we grow them naturally.
It's true. Yeah.
So like you just grow the sweats. So yeah, it was ridiculous though. But that older shit, nah. Even with, and I will say this, for those of us or those of you listening who are like hardcore Devil May Cry fans, if you have not played 6, which you probably have a hardcore fan, but if you're 5, sorry, if you've not played 5, oh my god, get you a copy. What are you waiting for?
5 is the latest, right?
Yeah. Shame on you for not playing already. For those of you just getting into the series, if you do decide to get it, get a towel.
I'm pretty sure. Wow. I'm pretty sure that PlayStation has given it to me at some point, so I'm going to definitely check it out. So
I'm pretty sure people are going to buy it now.
Yeah.
Shit, man, they're gonna sell so much Devil May Cry shit, it don't make no sense. I'm waiting for the Devil May Cry 2 was renewed for season 3 type shit, whatever. But it'll be what it is. We, as always, I know this is a long one. We appreciate you guys taking, the time to listen to us and chill while we talk about random fucking ass bullshit. Devil May Cry, great series, great anime. I'm saying it now. April 5th. It's going to get at least like 3-4 seasons. The story that they could tell, and the things that they could go through, and it could be like Supernatural. Just can make shit up at certain points. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Shit, they got 5 games. Yeah, they got 5 games of story. If they don't make shit up,
yeah.
Final thoughts? No, I mean, I think we covered everything. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I hope there's more.
Overall, good. Please keep up the fight scenes.
Oh my! Yes.
They were actually really, 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 really fucking good. Like he went up against that shapeshifter dude a few times, and every single time they fought was like super fucking cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The demons. I mean, I know they're from the game, but they are interesting. Just the designs and everything was very interesting. And
I will say, if I'm hoping this will happen. If the animators are listening, please pay attention when I say this. Don't hoe us on the boss battles. Do not jangle keys in front of us. We are not 12. We are not 20.
You talking about like a Mundus giant battle type thing?
Not even that. Like the Nello Angelo fight. Or not.
That big dude in the chair.
No, not Cavalier Angelo. That was the bat dude with the wings
Oh, okay.
that got killed with the portal.
Yeah. Oh my
that
God,
dude,
that was the best kill in the show.
it was. I'll give you
That
that.
was the best kill in the show.
It was also one of the best fights in the game, to the point where even though I've beaten the game, I will still go back, play that mission, or if I'm too high, I will go and look it up on YouTube. Just because in the game the dude is like 15 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
And an actual fucking he's a swordsman. Honestly, he fights a lot like I would imagine somebody from Game of Thrones like Ned Stark would fight, minus the disappearing axe shot. That he's got way cooler powers. Like he can teleport and shit. He's got all kinds of wild shit in the game. And I same with Echidna, which was the plant chick.
Mm-hmm.
They have such cool abilities and whatnot. And I know they obviously had to speed run a lot of it, but at the same time, it's like if you don't have them here, then I mean, give us some spectacle.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. But like I said, overall, it was amazing. That's my final thought.
I agree. I think we are all looking forward to what Devil May Cry series will be and franchise will be, because and we can say it because we've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Wilds. Capcom, man, they killing it, man. 2025 since February 28th, they ain't been doing nothing but printing gold.
Yeah, shit, I would say before that, because with the remakes, the Resident Evil remakes,
that
and
too,
all that
man.
shit, yeah,
they've
been killing
printing
it.
fucking money. And I will tell you, I'm gonna say this fucking now, Capcom. I want to be a Capcom creator so bad, but I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat shit for y'all, man. Like, what the fuck is going on with the fucking not Parasite? That's different. With the fucking Dino Crisis. It's dinosaurs and Resident Evil. Just give it a Resident Evil.
You've been talking about Dino Crisis forever.
The Resident Evil fucking the RE engine with dinosaurs. That's all what I'm asking for. That's it.
Simple.
Thank y'all so much for listening, chilling, hanging out with us. Please like, follow, and subscribe at the bottom. Click all of the links that's in the description and follow if you haven't. We got to give Rico some links because he just Rico like to just be anonymous and then pop out and talk about shit and then disappear
and
again.
Then disappear back into
so he don't have no social media right now, and I ain't gonna put his shit out there because he don't want it out there. But y'all enjoy him. Y'all just like all they need is one comment and be like, where his social media at? That's all we need for him to start posting shit. Y'all do that. Lucy, that's even you count, Lucy. You listening? You reading this right now? You count and you comment and say, why doesn't Rico have any social media? Boom, he got to get social media. That's how it works.
Make me get this shit.
At least Twitter, we just one. I'll even at least say that you get one. Okay. One that don't have a Twitter right now, but I'm actually gonna give everybody access to the Just Bullying account so we can just post bullshit and thoughts.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So
some articles and shit up there.
But yeah, I think it'd be cool. I do think it'd be super cool if we just like randomly just post whatever the fuck we want to thoughts. But thank you guys for listening, guys and gals listening. Please like, follow, subscribe, comment if you have anything to say. Email us at justbooling@gmail.com. The email's in the description. I might be saying it wrong. But social media is everywhere. Thank you again. As always, don't forget that. Let me stop saying shit.
Oh, bye. You better stop taking shit in there.
As always. What you say, Wanda? As always.
Don't forget to have fun.
Rico.
Appreciate you spending your time with us.
Up
catchphrase.
And catchphrase.
I haven't figured out mine yet. I'm going to. But
60 episodes in.
I know. But one was saying, "Don't forget to have fun." That was it for a while, but then you got one, and now I need one, and so we'll go from there. But
Rico's catchphrase is catchphrase.
catchphrase. Yeah.
It's that, and then that's why I can't have that. But
He gonna pop up sometimes saying like face card or some shit like that.
take
and then just drop the mic.
Take care. Have fun. Appreciate you
Have a good
spending
one.
time with us. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.